What's up my movers and shakers, I'm Dave, this is MS Paints, and this is how to convert toys to... 30 seconds has passed. Stargrave. As always with my stuff, universal principles do apply, so if, you know, this stuff isn't directly for Warhammer, it is basically how to make toys into something else and applicable for the tabletop. And like most people that are getting into Stargrave, I have discovered the virtues of the Disney Pixar failure that is Lightyear and the concurrent reduction in their toy line, which is... So I'm pretty much drowning in Buzz Lightyear toys, which isn't a necessarily bad situation to be in. So let's have a look at what we've got. We have the Widow Armadillo, which was only reduced to clear recently, hence why I have the big one, which was cheaper for a while. So that's going to get probably a Bobby Basic paint job treatment. I have a load of these fucking fighter jet spaceship things, which will get again a Bobby Basic weather and repaint. And the Zerg fighter ships. I have two of these. These are lovely, definitely in scale, nice and chunky. I think I might do those kind of a glossy magic alien red. I have a custom faction in mind for those guys. Okay now. And then we do of course have the very, very fucking cool 50 centimeter long Zerg cruiser thing with drop pods. In fact, I'm all on this right now. Yeah, okay. So while predominantly a lot of it is just going to get some touch-ups and weathering, this bad boy I want to fully kit out and customize as my Stargrave Cruise drop pod or dropship. It's designed for much larger action figures, so I'm going to have to do some gutting and rebuilding and build a new cockpit. Cool little side doors, which are kind of like, almost like actual transit van doors, where you have to pull them out and then slide them across. That's quite nice engineering. A little bit that drops out of the back. So inside I can have like landing seats, crates, gun racks, things like that, and hopefully a lighting ring. My friend Daffyd at TerrainTronics has set me up with a lot of interesting lighting stuff, which I am thick as shit, so we'll have to see how well I do with those. But yeah, generally, that's what we're gonna do. And I just remembered I have 2 more fighter jets upstairs. So let's go get them. Oh, fuck me, does it have lights as well? That's why they were trying to sell me batteries. Oh. You alright? Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't go for the smaller one, because fuck. And if it was the smaller one, I wouldn't need to gut and change the entire cockpit, so yeah. Oh, if this thing wasn't completely indestructible and I could take it apart, I certainly would have done. But then I know for a fact, like, if I put it back together, the slidey door mechanism wouldn't work so hot.
Actually, I did find like an eBay listing that has like almost the exact one that these are.
Yeah.
Like a center, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know what it doesn't look like Lord of the Rings with the serial numbers filed off. That's what I thought. it wouldn't be like the nice sort of super detailed ones that stuff like that, but you know, it's something that has the same kind of aesthetic to it.
Stuff costs pretty much double.
Like a scenario game. Yeah, this one. I don't really like this one very much. A lot more like a you know, a small local game store rather than a Games Workshop store, you know, the way
Okay, so this guy looking a little bit more not shit. The tools for me to do the exterior panels haven't turned up yet. They'll hopefully turn up today. I'm working away tomorrow and the day after anyway, so it'll be next week by the time I do it. And yeah, so far, so alright. I've got some more 3D printed bits last night. The chair and the consoles are from Bob Naismith's site, interestingly. And I downloaded a few things on a punt. Sadly, the chair and the consoles aren't pre-supported, and they are possibly in the least convenient arrangement of things to 3D print. Like, it's a floor panel, a chair, and the two side consoles all on one thing. So I basically screamed at Blender until they came apart. Is the only, well, silent screaming, just fucking Blender, man. Managed to get everything apart into its component parts, and now I can make some stuff. I have a pilot printed, I have a weapons locker printed. I think there might be enough room in there for additional pilot and engineer stations, but we'll see how we go. And yeah, tonight I'm learning some electronics because Daffyd from TerrainTronics has sent me some TerrainTronics to try out. So yeah, if that all goes well, you can find a link to his Etsy shop in the description down below. But yeah, for now, I'm going to finish this cockpit, probably start on the guts, and maybe make a start on some electronics. Hype! Nice idea in principle. Shit execution. Okay. We still have our shelf.
The internet, we think we know what kind of fish it was.
Guessing it's a mountain whitefish or a, what was that other one?
Oh, dick.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to revision. That's a lot. Because with no motor, pretty much the whole goal is just stay in the center of the river. Just concentrate on one side or the other. And it's the biggest struggle. Aside from having
Not the textured stuff that I'll plan on putting across it, because this stuff easily replaceable. Textured stuff like £9 a sheet. So width, depth, one of the two.
Alright, so that little trip took 1 hour exactly, according to Crazy Neighbor's stopwatch. And we're about to rip the wall panels off this thing so we can see what we're doing.
The best to you.
What's up guys, Tony D here from Star Command. I'm not in perpetual forward motion today, my arthritis is just Arthritis is just kicking my ass, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. But you know what isn't kicking my ass? The smooth moves and affordable prices from today's sponsor, Wayland Games. That's right, guys. Tony D and Wayland Games teaming up once more for a phenomenal pitch. Take this off. Take this off me. It's so heavy. Can't believe you spent $6 on a joke with a hat. Guys, if like me and D-Dog, you need your one-stop shop to get all this good stuff and bring your toys to the battlefield, then look no further than these spotlit products from Wayland Games. Next slide. And oh look, Wayland Games stocks stargrave resources for you to get into your fresh and funky new game and make your own crews and spaceships. Me and D-Dog are loving stargrave right now. Next slide. Need yourself a crew? Look no further than Corvus Belly. He's dead like pork belly. Look no further than Corvus Belly's Infinity for the coolest sci-fi minis on the market. When it comes to weathering those toys, take a look here at Soilworks Oil Washes, baby. Fresh and filthy textures and gradients in minutes. Next slide. And you know what? It's that time of year where it ain't too cold, it ain't too hot. So what better way to regulate your body temperature than to mix in a little too thin coats? Best prices you will find, guys. And oh baby, Star Wars Shatterpoint is almost upon us, guys. And if you want to make sure you get your copy of Star Wars Shatterpoint on time and in style with a crazy price, head to waylandgames.co.uk or use the link in the description. And don't forget, guys, you can earn loyalty points with every purchase. 4.9 rating on Trustpilot. Whoa! Alright, bye now.
The best to you.
So jot down a list and push out to see how far we can go.
Textured piece of plastic card. Yeah, that's gonna serve as a bit of a cosmetic edge to this. Everything else was just the cheap shit for elevation and structure. Then we kind of have this cool deck plating thing going on, which is what we want. Not quite flush, but nothing I've ever made has been flush, so. Okay, so cockpit done, some deck plating done inside, and this cool little like divider gun rack, seat rack thing. I'll put, maybe if I can fit 4 seats in that, I will fit 4 seats in that. It looks, yeah, it look about right. It just feels that these guys need somewhere to sit while the ship is flying around and taking bumps. So yeah, 4 seats, and then another 4 in the cockpit. That basically accounts for most of the crew. One of my crew happens to be an Ed 209 model, so I don't think he needs a chair, and I don't think he will find one that fits him. And another crew member is a dog. So my headcanon thinking with the Armadillo is that because it's such a popular kitbash ship in the stargrave community because they're cheap as fuck and everyone's getting into stargrave at the minute. And it just happens to be that these are reduced at the same time everyone's picking up the rules. These are the sci-fi equivalent of like U-Haul vans, and they come in different sizes, and every crew has got one and has kind of fitted it out with what they actually need. So some of them, you know, could be prospector ships or research ships, like short range. Some of them probably kitted out with bunk beds, some of them for smuggling people with deck plates that you can get underneath. So I'm not especially worried about this being massively crunchy. Okie dokie. Electronics stuff is here. The specific wire I need to use with the wire wrap kit is here. So wire wrapping is basically, it allows you to temp fit stuff that you're going to eventually solder, which I may or may not do because I'm shit with the soldering iron. And with some of the fun shit in this box, these are LED, like, not wormy wires, these are the wormy wires you have to be real careful with. These are like just fixed, very stiff strips. So I think I'm going to put some practical lighting in. I'll have like a red LED, which I think will work nicely. Yeah, so I'm going to experiment with the wire wrap kit. Yeah, let's get to that, because, yeah, I got to do this now. Apparently this is the only wire that kind of does it. I think it might be potentially single core. I think that was the gist of it, because but also might completely okay, real gentle. The multiple sclerosis arm needs to learn to be gentle. So yeah, we take this guy, and then there is a slot down the side. We pop that, and then we, oh, come on, you fucking dick. We can just do a twisteroo on this. This is the bit that I didn't understand. I had to get Daffyd to just baby step me through the whole process, because I just couldn't physically fathom how that would actually fucking work. And there we go, that's the magic. That is magic, that's So we'll do a quick test fit with, and there we do essentially have it, and that is fairly painless. If I could just find some kind of power source to throw in there. No, okay, that does work. Yes, okay, so it's red to long. Okay, yeah, that does work. Right, I haven't fucked it. Let's give that a bit more gas so you can actually see this. Yeah. Cool, yeah. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, let's get that mounted practical. That's gonna be absolutely fucking decent. Oh my god, I'm so hyped now. Okay. Cool. I've gone from couldn't be asked to be alive anymore to amazing, let's go bang bang. Let's do that. I think I have everything in a position where I can prime it. I do. I remember where I put that spray can that I bought. There it is. Use different shades of green to differentiate some of the panels, pick out some of the panels which is a thing that you do for film and TV, like miniatures and props, is to create the illusion of scale, is to have stuff slightly different colours. I'm going to try a vague gradient with 2 different spray primers, just to get some overall colour undulation might be the thing, and then pick out the panels with block solid colour, and maybe it'll need a highlight at the end of it all. I haven't decided yet. We'll try the... yeah, okay, we'll try the metallic prime, then we'll do a coat of hairspray, because that's, you know, my airbrush is down, so I'm going to have to just use hairspray, old school style. And then we'll hit it with some rattle cans over the top, attempt to do some chipping, and then we can pick out some of the edges and shit like that. Okay, so far it's not playing ball entirely. It's fine. At some point this is going to come off. At some point this is going to reactivate and come off. At some point this is going to reactivate and come off. It's supposed to be that it just reactivates with water. It's probably because it's hairspray and I cheaped out and chumped out on it, and it's probably not actually going to play ball. Or the Tamiya paints don't do what they're supposed to do. I mean, they do what they're supposed to do, obviously, because it's freaking Tamiya. I'm not going to sit here and say the paint's shit. And whatever's in these Tamiyas is kind of telling me to just go and fuck myself. Which is fine. That would be a better use of my time than trying to get that off. Okay, it's manual weathering time. One more time.
Libraries he visited. In applying to private families for records thought to be in their possession, Salem proper. At that time, he had little to do with his family, but spent most of his
Loose fitting cargo. Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna do these ships real fast. Don't really see any sense in priming and starting again. They're perfectly fine. So they're just gonna get a wash, an oil wash with some Abtalung 502, and this colour is specifically called Starship Filth. So one might assume something called Starship Filth. Yeah, that's some Starship Filth. I'm just gonna take it back off. I tried it with some AK panel liner on that side, but it's got a greeny brown tint I'm not especially bothered about. So at least the Starship Filth is, I think, either neutral or blue leaning, which is obviously better with what we've got because it's a neutral grey and a blue with some blue trim on it. So that's kind of explains itself. These are definitely a smidge out of scale, but it's for Stargrave, so I can just say these are Ugnaught ships or something, or House Elf ships, because it's Stargrave. It doesn't matter. Just buffing it off. Make sure you do what you want if you're doing it. I generally like, on something like this, to brush in the direction that it would go, because that's where it pick up the wear and tear. So brush backwards kind of gives it a more motivated grain to it. Okie dokie, we are finally at a point now where I can basically put everything in, which is cool. Obviously it's cool, it's great. So one thing I didn't know and should have asked earlier was powering these convoy boards from TerrainTronics with like portable phone batteries, you know, the kind that you get on Amazon cheap and cheerful, 15 quid a pop, charge your phone up, get a whole charge out of it. They require a certain amount of draw to stay activated, otherwise they assume they're not charging anything and then they switch off. And because the current pulled from this board and the lights is so minimal, they often power off very quickly, if at all they power on anyway. So I have this, what I've been testing with is this old battery, which I used to power my Zoom F8 sound mixer off on sound recording jobs, and that thing will go, it'll power the unit for 3 days, all the gear. Temporarily I'm going to hide this inside for the B-roll shots because it's got a switch, it stays on. And then probably after this video comes out, I'll actually be able to get the 47 ohm 1 watt resistors, put them on the convoy board, and that will trick it into pulling more power essentially and keep a smaller portable battery on that I can house in here semi-permanently with magnets. Yeah, so I'm just gonna basically put this all together, wrap it up and finish it off and get the crew in and see how they feel. I still need to paint the pilot. I'll paint the pilot tonight. I forgot I needed to do that. And probably, I don't think there's that much more to do on the Stargrave crew themselves to look cool with it. So yeah, final bits going together. I need a smaller USB cable as well because that thing is ridiculous. Yes, party time. I'm going to get my hands in there once more. I'm very shaky this week, so this is going to be an interesting process. And glue it all in, get it nice and tidy, and at some point I can swap the battery out later. Yeah, here she goes. Here she goes. Dry okay, he says. And would accelerate it a bit more, but that would probably mix with the oil wash that I remember just to throw on there real fast. But for now, I think she would be screen test ready. She'll be okay entirely. So yeah, that's that project done. I have this ship. I have the 4 human fighters. And of course the Zerg fighters. The Zerg fighters are kind of just like the last ones that I bought. And I'm glad that I did and I didn't stop and I bought these, because these are fucking spot on. They're definitely the right scale. They're slightly larger than those, oddly. And they're just such a fucking cool design. With a bit of trimming on there, bit of wash. I've done some panel lining. I probably won't even need to varnish these, because I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interfere with the metallic Tamiya and the properties that has, because that's got such a nice little buzz to it. No pun intended. So yeah, that's the ship's taken care of. I better get on with some cheap and cheerful scatter terrain now. Not now, next week, or the week after. Cool. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Well, I assume it was quite a lengthy Zen Garden video, rather than a how much Warhammer can you shove up your bum video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, because a lot of people wanted this format to come back. So yeah, thank you. Cheers, Marvy.